just want you to share a success story of one of your clients before we dig into your journey. So if you've got a case study or a success story you could share with us, please.
Yeah, of course. So I must point out that this is the reason that I've transferred from compliance only to advisory, because of the outcomes that we were finding with our clients. Found them very, very fulfilling, and far more beneficial to our clients than just filling out tax returns. So the first one that comes to mind, because he had such a grand transformation, was a guy called, we'll call him Peter, just for privacy reasons. He came to us in a complete mess. He had an engineering company, and he was running about 6 fans and engineers, and he was refrigeration and air conditioning in the UK. And he had fairly big contracts, or was wanting to win fairly big contracts. And his main contracts were like for the big supermarkets like Tesco's, going and repairing their freezers, their food freezers. So he had about 6 vans, 6 engineers. He had a turnover of 450,000, but he was in a complete mess. He had been doing the typical thing of trying to find the cheapest accountancy and bookkeeping, and he had a bookkeeper that he thought he should be getting more value out, but he was only paying £100 a month. So, and of course, at £100 a month for bookkeeping, she wasn't able to give him the time that, or the attention to detail that she needed. And she had been doing everything wrong. So she had been, when the invoices came in, she was listing the invoices through Dext, but she was putting the money as money spent. So in effect, it was doubling it, everything else. She wasn't matching anything. And when we realized this, he also didn't know who owed him money. So he didn't know which of his own invoices had been paid or not. And he was in a real stressed and confused state, because he knew he had a large corporation tax bill looming, but he didn't have a clue what it was going to be. The accountants that he was using were only doing his end of year 8 months after the year end. So he was living in a state of panic, not knowing if, if anything he'd put aside is going to be covering any kind of tax bill. So we got to work. We realized that he'd been on the wrong VAT scheme for 4 years, and his corporation tax bill had been overstated. So we took 3 months to untangle his bookkeeping and got him to a position where his numbers were accurate and up to date. We then put him on Profit First. So we did him an instant assessment so he could see the ratios that he was allocating for operating expenses, what he should be putting away for tax, what he could take out of his business. He went from, once we did this and got him a profit plan, he went from 450k turnover when he came to us to 1.1 million in 18 months. Okay, because he had a really good business. He was just so confused over the numbers.